Hello Year 8s, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much again for another really great day of work coming in. We've enjoyed seeing your results, and one of the things we've noticed is that there's been a lot of comments about some of these areas. It does seem like it's not going to be possible for us to find, and that's okay too. We'll look at that more over the next few lessons. But one of the things that I really want you to have a look at, and which we were talking about last lesson, is exploring these different amounts of tilt. So for example, this one here is tilted by 1, this one here is tilted up 3, different amounts and different ways of tilting. And what I'd like to focus on today is just to pause looking for a full set of areas up to 20 and to really think about these tilts and a systematic way of looking at those tilts. Now, systematic means when we apply a system to something. And the key to that is having a kind of set of rules that anyone could create the same thing. So what I want is this tilt, some of the confusion yesterday was around kind of how to describe this tilt. So we're going to talk today about a way of describing the tilt and then of looking at what happens to these square areas when we change the tilt. Okay, so what I've done to help us with this is I've put the 10 and the 5 that we've already been looking at, and I've added a 25 as well, which is obviously above our set of 20, but will be useful for our systematic review. Now, what I want to do is to try and think of a way of describing this tilt. Okay, so what I'm going to say is that for each of these squares, we're going to focus on this triangle in this corner. So that is the bottom right-hand corner down here. And we want to try and think of a way of describing that tilt. So in this example, I can see that my tilt is going across 1 and up 3. So I'm going to use some special notation to help me write that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to write a big bracket that goes over 2 squares like this. And then I'm going to put the across direction in this top one, because we go across first, so across by 1, and then in this case we're going to go up by 3. And that is describing my tilt of across 1 and up by 3. I'm going to do the same thing again for this one underneath. So in this case, we're looking at this bottom right-hand corner, and we're going to go across 2, up 1. Okay, now to write that, I'm going to do my nice big double bracket again. So making sure you've got space for pushing the one on top of the other so that it's nice and clear that these are your directions. And this time we're going to go across 2. So I'm going to put the 2 in first. And up 1. And last but not least, I'm going to do the same again here. So this time I'm going across and then up. And this time I'm going across 1, 2, 3, 3, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so I'm going to do the double brackets. And just think in your head which way around you're going to put it. So we're going to put the across 3 and the up 4 in there. Nice, and then I'm going to show you. So across 3 goes first, and then up 4. Okay, so you can see that although each of my squares is different, I've used this same notation to describe the tilt of each one. Okay, so now what I'm going to have a look at is on this page, we've got a table with all of these different types describing the tilt. Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple and just read them out. So remembering that we've got across and up going into the brackets with a cross on top and up below. This one is describing a square that goes across 1 and up 3. This one is describing a square which has a tilt in that bottom right hand corner, which goes across 2, up 5. For this one, I want you to have a think. Think what that's describing in your head or out loud. Okay, and it's going to be across 3 and up 1. Okay, so hopefully you were able to predict what I was going to say based on what we've been doing so far. Now, I would like you to write this table into your books, just like I have it here. Okay, so you have 6 columns, and then you write in your tilt information. These ones are all going to go across 1 and then up. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But all of these ones go across 1. Then all of these ones go across 2. And they follow the same route for how much they go up. And then all of these ones go across 3. So you can see that this table is going to give us a really nice opportunity to do some comparisons and make some observations about how the tilt affects the area. Okay? And once you've copied out this table, what I'd like you to do is to start putting in any of the ones that you already have, and then adding in any that you don't have yet. So for example, we've got here this one, 1, 3, across 1, up 3. And we know that the area of the tilted square for that one is 10. So here we've got our one that is across 1 and up 3. And so we're going to put in an area here of 10. Okay. This one we've got across 2, up 1, with 2 and then 1. So we can find that here, and we know it's going to be an area of 5. So we write that into our table. And then last but not least, we've got this one, which is across 3 and up 4. So this is an example of one that you might have to draw out in your book to find this area, because you might not have done this one already because it's bigger than 20. But what we're going to do is we're going to put, it's the 3, 4 one, and the area is 25. So we're going to put that in here. Okay, so I want you to complete this table. Copy this table and then complete this table. And once you've done that, you can start looking for if there are any patterns. And the patterns could be in the columns, or they could be across the rows, or across any other areas where you can spot things that some of these might have in common. And then I'd like you to just write some observations and conjectures about what you see and what that might mean. I hope that's all clear. If you've got any questions, as always, just pop them into the classroom discussion area and we'll be happy to help. Good luck!